So what's happening? Tell us about your story.
Well, it's kind of much of a story. I've always been sort of yo-yo dieter, like probably most of the people here, and I've been as well. I don't have any pictures because I never kept any. I didn't want to take any. I didn't want to see myself. I don't have supportive or encouraging family.
Can you guys hear? Is she close? Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have a supportive family who would say to me, do this, we'll help you with that. It was more, you're fat, pretty much. And I was one of these people who was always kind of fat since I remember. And everybody else is naturally thin. So I couldn't get any support. And I put myself in a corner, and I was very, very depressed for a very long time. And so I got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then sort of one day I realized that, I couldn't do anything that I used to do, and it just came as a big sort of shock to me because I was trying to do simple stuff and I was getting breathless, and at the same time I was getting more scared and more upset, so I was eating even more. So then about 5 years ago I came across John's book, and it was just, I was searching for something different, medical stuff on the internet, and one of these pop-ups came up, and I bought a book because I was, I guess, so desperate I was going to buy any gimmick because I've done every diet in the world, and every diet put me in higher and higher and higher sort of weight ratio, and I went to see nutritionists, dietitians, and they suggested shakes and powders, and I was facing the gastric sleeving. That was the next one because my BMI had gone like way past 40, and so I was in a good, sort of accepted range. So I bought a book and I started reading, and I probably read it about, I don't even know how many times, 10 times. And then it sort of started to sink in, and I'm a medical person, and I started sort of doing simple things, just started adding things up like John was saying. And then gradually I started feeling that the other things that I used to eat didn't interest me anymore, and it did happen. Excuse me. There was more... I love greens. I started liking salads. I've gone completely off meat, like a red meat, because I couldn't eat it anymore. And then sort of weight started to come off. I'm not a good person with visualization at all, and this is something I was asking John to help me with, because I guess this is my next step. I've got another probably 30 kilos to lose. But visualization was never my strong side because my brain, my analytical part of the brain always switches on and stops me from imagining things. But I've done exactly, I've followed to the letter. I've supplemented, I've started taking digestive enzymes. I've done everything he's saying in the book, so there's pretty much, there's nothing to it. So I wasn't really dieting, but I was exercising quite a lot. And the more I was eating life and living foods, the more energy I had. And I had so much energy that, I really couldn't sleep. It was pretty crazy. So and I still can't sleep, but it's part and parcel with the juices that I'm drinking and the work that I'm doing. So anyhow, so I still didn't get any support, and my husband was still saying to me, it's the calories in and the calories out. And even though I have lost all the weight, he still never admitted that I was right in even that little bit.
So is that right? How much have you lost?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And sort
you lost 60 kilos?
60 kilos.
Wow. To all these people, I'm still emotionally not there. I still see myself as a really, really, really fat person. Wow.
And my 20-year-old daughter always says to me, Mum, you should stop saying things. You should see yourself young and beautiful. And I still struggle to do it, but I guess I will get there one day. But the advice that I could give if people just sit here and go, my God, all this is just complete double dutch. Am I going to juice this? Am I going to squeeze that? Do whatever you can. It really makes no difference. And we all started following the same path. I had no idea that John was starting juicing as much because it wasn't part of his program at the beginning. So I've drifted into juicing last year, and I found myself in a deep, and I don't want to sort of go too much into it. So I've lost 15 kilos from doing that, and I've gone into quite, extreme with that. You don't have to. You just do whatever you can do. I will strongly suggest what John suggests is organic stuff, because you would notice tremendous difference going from non-organic to organic foods, because you would actually eat even less and you'll spend less money. And the big thing I always say to people, go and sit in front of an organic, food store and watch the people coming in and out,
Yeah.
and then do the same in front of Woolies.
Good advice.
And you will actually,
Yeah.
you will see, and I've done it.
That's good advice.
So it's not about the weight loss, it's about your mindset. You know, now I sort of, it took me a long time, 4 years to come here because I wasn't mentally ready. And I went to see John at other venues, and it takes some courage to come here, and also it takes courage to talk about it. So, but, you know, there's a phenomenon called raw emotions that's kind of widespread around the world, that people who eat a lot more live living foods, they actually speak their minds more.
Great. Thanks.